Our channel is 100% dedicated to stories like this, bringing you valuable information that the mainstream media hides from you. Please, so you don't miss videos like this, subscribe to the channel and give us your like. It helps our work a lot. When you log online, when you open a browser, when you send a message, what do you really think is happening? Most people believe the internet is a tool of empowerment, a source of information, entertainment, and opportunity. But what if everything you think you know about the internet is a carefully constructed illusion? What if behind the clicks and taps, behind the memes and the news articles, there's a purpose far deeper and far darker than we've been led to believe? Tonight, I want you to challenge your comfort zone. Let's peel away the shiny user interfaces and marketing slogans and ask the question: is the internet not a highway of connection, but an unbroken chain of surveillance, tracking, and social control? Are we voluntarily participating in the largest and most sophisticated observation program in human history, one that most people never even consider real? Let's begin at the beginning. The origins of the internet lie not with entrepreneurs or professors, but with the military. In the late 1960s, ARPANET, funded and overseen by the Pentagon, launched as a way for strategic military nodes to share information, resist nuclear strikes, and direct U.S. power in the event of catastrophe. National security was always at its core. But as technology developed, the program expanded, quietly laying the groundwork for every device, router, and connection point we use today. By the 1990s, when the World Wide Web blossomed, private companies, universities, and ordinary citizens believed they were gaining freedom. But behind the scenes, the world's governments and intelligence agencies were building a net, not for fish, but for people. Consider this. Every web page you visit, every app you install, every photo you upload leaves a data trail, known as metadata. This is everything about your online behavior except the content itself. IP addresses, timestamps, user profiles, geolocations, and click habits are all cataloged and analyzed. Who benefits from the endless ocean of data? The theory suggests the answer is not the user, but the watcher. In the wake of the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks, the U.S. government passed the Patriot Act, vastly expanding the scope of online surveillance. Programs with mythic names Prism, X-Core, Temper came into the public eye, thanks to whistleblowers like Edward Snowden. Their revelations painted a picture of unfathomable power. Every search, every email, every Skype call was being collected, stored, and analyzed in real time. Servers the size of football fields filled with racks of hard drives, cold and silent, holding enough information to reconstruct lives, relationships, even our innermost secrets. But what if this was just the tip of the iceberg? What if, from the very start, the web was engineered as a tool for mass observation? The biggest tech companies, always happy to sell us convenience, were born from, or became deeply integrated with, the national security state. One former Silicon Valley engineer turned researcher claims that the evolution of big data wasn't about better advertisements, but about predictive policing and controlling social movements. Let's look at social media. Under the guise of connecting the world, platforms like Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok have mapped our preferences, relationships, fears, and desires. Our friend networks, your emotional states, and even your face are now assets in a data economy traded or sold. Or perhaps more insidiously, simply watched and cataloged for future use. Why else would almost every website, every smart device, and every mobile app require you to accept cookies or grant permission to your microphone, camera, or location? Tech companies claim it's about customizing your experience, but to others, it's a digital leash, a way to ensure you're never truly anonymous. Some say the illusion of privacy is the greatest trick of all. You can use a VPN or an encrypted messenger, but eventually, that signal passes through a government-controlled node or ends up on a server where it can be decrypted or subpoenaed. Some theorists say the very architecture of the internet is built for interception. Every switch, router, and cloud service by design allows third-party access with the proper credentials, legal or otherwise. But the question remains, to what end? Is the goal simply to sell us more products, to nudge us towards certain brands or political opinions? Or is there a deeper agenda to shape societies, quash dissent, and deliver personal leverage on every soul with a device? Think about predictive policing, automated censorship, and mass psychological operations. These aren't distant science fiction. They're rolled out, tested, and refined on billions of people each day. Let's not forget AI. Every keystroke, every voice command, and every face on a video feed is used to build smarter and smarter algorithms. These systems learn what you look like when you're happy, sad, angry, or vulnerable. They know who you spend your time with, what you buy, what you fear, and even, some say, what you're likely to do next. It's said that a comprehensive digital twin exists for all of us, an informational clone used by decision makers and secret agencies to test scenarios, shape outcomes, and maintain power. How do governments and corporations work together? Theorists point to public-private partnerships, legal agreements that allow state security services instant, warrantless access to private platforms. Internal memos reveal that every new app, every update, every feature passes through a review, not only for user happiness, but for compliance with data sharing agreements. The reach of surveillance doesn't stop at your IP address or search history. Increasingly, the Internet of Things, smart fridges, thermostats, TVs, toys, even toothbrushes report data daily. Cameras and microphones turn every room into a wiretap, sending voices and images to distant data centers, supposedly for maintenance or upgrades. Are these really just helpful features, or is your private life being mapped at a terrifying scale? There's even a theory that the Internet's infrastructure itself, undersea cables, cell towers, satellites, is quietly manipulated. Some believe the placement of these lines and the ownership of backbone companies hides a global system designed to control narrative flows, trigger outages, or crash economies with a single keystroke. Historians might say the desire to surveil is as old as power itself. Every empire, from Babylon to Rome to modern superpowers, watched its citizens. But never before has the surveillance been so effortless, so total, and so normal. Why don't we revolt? The answer, some argue, is consent through convenience. With every update, every new device, we trade privacy for access, independence for connectivity. We are told and we believe that the digital world is our domain. But what if it isn't? What if the truth is that the Internet isn't our tool, but their weapon? Let's consider the ultimate implication. A kind of pre-crime society where your future actions are mapped and preemptively altered, where search engines gently nudge you towards preferred opinions, where news, truth, and dissent are filtered or outright erased not by human censors, but by unaccountable, ever-learning algorithms. The world's biggest companies, banks, and governments are merging data at a scale most can't comprehend, using it to shape everything from product launches to elections. Could there be a program so massive, so sophisticated, that its existence is not even concealed? It's simply ignored, hidden in plain sight by sheer complexity. Some whistleblowers claim the deep web isn't just a criminal marketplace, but an entire system of backdoors and trapdoors governed by agreements we'll never read, controlled by people we'll never see. VPNs, Tor, and encryption might obscure you from marketers, but some say not from the ones who built the network to begin with. Of course, the mainstream response is always the same. If you're not doing anything wrong, you have nothing to fear. But who decides what's wrong? Laws change. Information that's legal today might be outlawed tomorrow. History is replete with governments that rewrote rules to fit their interests. And if the Internet is a surveillance tool before it is a communication tool, then every password, every journal entry, every inbox is a confession waiting to be used. So what can we do? Awareness is the first defense. Never forget that every device is a potential window, microphone, and tracker. Limit unnecessary sharing. Question why an app needs to see your files, or why your location is always on. Maybe privacy isn't dead, maybe it's just an endangered species, one worth protecting, even as others tell you there's nothing to hide. The next time you connect to Wi-Fi, send a message, or upload a photo, ask, who is watching? Who is storing this? Who benefits? And if you find that question unsettling, maybe that's exactly what you're supposed to feel. Perhaps the biggest trick of all was convincing people that the Internet was a tool of freedom when all the while, step by step, it became a cage built of light, fiber, signal, and silence. Our channel is 100% dedicated to stories like this, bringing you valuable information that the mainstream media hides from you. Please, so you don't miss videos like this, Subscribe to the channel and give us your like. It helps our work a lot.